Just a reminder from your friendly neighborhood metalhead, if you like what you see, don't forget to click like and subscribe to the Heavy Underground. My 10th Metallica show since 1994's Summer Shit Tour, my 4th show since May of 2017, and my 3rd in roughly 3.5 months, excluding the All Within My Hands Helping Hands benefit concert this past November. 3 journeys into the worldwide maelstrom have ranged from a distance of 10 feet off the rail for the May 2017 Baltimore Stadium launch to an eye-level second-row seat at the band's October 2018 Pittsburgh performance to most recently a legitimately last-row seat in Cleveland, Ohio on February 1st, 2019 as the band nears the end of their current North American journey. Baltimore 2017 was a full frontal assault. A large and dominant stage presence affords a grand presentation. Powerful visuals amplify the band's dominant performance throughout the stadium as the band executed their set with larger-than-life impact and veteran authority. The Whiplash-enhanced experience offering a general admission floor ticket as one option, in addition to access to the pre-show VIP lounge and traveling Metallica museum, afforded the Metallica faithful early admission privileges, weathering the band's withering metal attack from near the rail amongst the band's most fervent acolytes. Pittsburgh offered an up-close and personal examination of the band's outstanding stagecraft. Personal crowd interactions and the band's individual engagement with the audience highlight the performance. From smiles and laughs exchanged with the crowd to the band's serious intent and lethal delivery, the second row center ice ticket gloriously delivered with the Whiplash Experience's reserved seating option was about as close to being on stage, eye level, with the Four Horsemen themselves without physically being in the band's way. Opting for a cheap nosebleed seat for February 2019's Cleveland concert allowed yet another perspective on Metallica's touring prowess. A fortuitous consequence of an inexpensive Cleveland ticket was a bird's-eye view of the current worldwide arena stage show. The view from the top allowed the full scope of the stage show to be enjoyed. Most spectacularly, the stage lights dancing across the white stage floor, a hidden sight when sitting level with or looking up at the band, offered a kaleidoscopic vibrancy that ebbed and flowed with the intensity and emotional impact of the setlist. As the end of the North American arena leg of Metallica's worldwide tour nears its conclusion, the inimitable Horsemen in Black arrived in Cleveland, Ohio for a frigid February 1st show, joined on this entire arena run by the comedic genius of the Goat Boy himself, Jim Breuer. Metallica offer a night of hilarity and heaviness for their multi-generational adherents to enjoy, with a catalog drawing from nearly 40 years of continually evolving excellence. The 17,500 in attendance steel themselves for the almighty Metallica to assail their sold-out horde with a powerful performance. Quick and nimble, Hardwired skips from the stage with a frenetic drum patter quickening the pace. Rhythmic heft from James's guitar undergirds a surgical solo screed from Kirk. James resumes the lyrical venom to propel Hardwired to a deftly skittering close. Resuming an energetic pace, Atlas Rise nimbly leaps forward in succession. Maintaining a symbiosis with Hardwired, Atlas Rise settles into a quick chugging velocity for the Cleveland crowd. A deft drum interplay dances from Lars's kit as Rob's bass rolls the low end forward with deep authority. A hard-charging track from the band's latest, Atlas Rise delivers a vibrant and rocking new classic to an excited Cleveland crowd. The sold-out crowd makes its loud and vociferous presence known as James and the gang launch into Seek and Destroy. Taking a dip into ancient waters, an energetic sing-along ensues as this iconic Kill 'Em All track accomplishes its destructive sonic mission. A slightly newer legendary track emerges from the stage as 1991's Wherever I May Roam wanders through the arena next. Thundering drums power through the song as James's vocals weave their heavy vagabond tale. With the crowd hitting all their cues, Wherever I May Roam fades into the winter's night, allowing the taped intro for the somber trek of the Unforgiven to rise into the night. Sorrowful riffs cascade through the arena as the Unforgiven hits a note with the appreciative crowd. A darkened resonance shadows the Unforgiven as another mass sing-along shares the song's emotional weight amongst the 17,500 in attendance. James's powerful acoustic work periodically accents the song as this well-traveled classic still resonates strongly with the audience nearly 28 years later. Inquiring if the Metallica family is still alive, James gets a little philosophical as he introduces the next song. With a buoyant stride, Now That We're Dead pulses from the stage to follow the Unforgiven's sullen journey. The song's sly riffs ricochet from the PA as another outstanding new song bounds through the air. An insidiously catchy live track, Now That We're Dead roils forward with Rob's subsonic bass churning underneath. The band takes to their respective drums for the song's extended drum jam. James takes the rhythmic lead for a moment before Lars returns to his kit to resume the song in earnest. Resuming with a mid-90s stroll, Now That We're Dead rises for one last pass. Emerging in a rapid attack, Creeping Death roars from the stage. Getting biblical with the Cleveland audience, Metallica rains divine justice upon the crowd. Once again, and as always, Jason's background vocals are sorely missed, but 17,500 people screaming along more than makes up for it. Taking to the microphone, Rob tees up the next song, getting the crowd into a groove before Lars cues it up. For Whom the Bell Tolls bellows from the stage. Another iconic classic, For Whom the Bell Tolls placates the rabid Cleveland audience. A searing solo outro tears from Kirk's fingers to close out the song. Soon, James returns to the mic to croon the live intro to the band's recent epic, Halo on Fire. Halo on Fire winds from the stage with its off-kilter vibe and wistful tenor. This obtuse epic, a standout track on Metallica's latest album, Hardwired to Self-Destruct, brings the beastly quality out of James's voice on this February night. A true testament to the band's power, the crowd is every bit as loud and invested in this amazing song from their latest album as they are for 35-year-old classics. With an undeniable flair for the amazing, Metallica slips effortlessly into the sweeping majesty of Halo on Fire's second half sojourn. Solidifying the song as a true magnum opus, Halo on Fire catapults the listener across a sweeping sonic vista on its nearly 10-minute journey of sonic majesty. Embracing the unknown, James cedes the stage to Rob and Kirk for their doodle portion of the evening. Declaring Metallica's Polar Vortex party in full swing, Rob takes to the microphone to begin their nightly musical interlude. Diving into the local music scene in every city, our intrepid duo turn the spotlight on Cleveland hard rockers the James Gang and the unabashed heartland rock of the Michael Stanley Band for a quick medley of hometown classics. Tearing into a couple of Cleveland local classics, the James Gang's 71 hit Funk No. 49 rolls through the arena before a quick sing-along on Michael Stanley's 1983 dose of hometown pride, My Town, gets a rollicking reception from the Cleveland faithful. Taking his place under a larger-than-life picture of Cliff Burton, Robert Trujillo begins to play the late great maestro's iconic bass solo, Anesthesia. Masterfully paying tribute to this touching masterwork of bass elegance and power, Rob reaches to the heavens with his low-end rumble. In the band's grand 80s tradition, Anesthesia serves as a harbinger of some old-school viciousness as a kill-em-all classic quickly follows. The very first Metallica song, Hit the Lights, roars to life after Anesthesia's stirring remembrance. Raining lightning-quick strikes down on the Cleveland audience, Hit the Lights speeds through the arena. Lars' nimble drums, Rob's bounding bass, and roaring guitars from James and Kirk rip through the night with authority on this Metallica classic. With a quick turnaround, James growls the unmistakable opening lines to Fuel from 1996's Reload. Burning hot through the entire song, Fuel surges and charges with Lars' propulsive drums churning the song's incendiary friction. A dense and nimble race through Fuel is elevated through the liberal use of pyro to further fan the song's barn-burning flames. A brief aside about the harpist from the band's nearly 20-year-old S&M performance wearing a Metallica shirt under his tuxedo provides an inadvertent foreshadowing of the band's recent S&M 2 announcement as James introduces the next song. Keeping with the combustible theme, self-destructive habits power to the front with 2016's Moth into Flame. With a fleet of lighted drones patrolling the stage, Metallica barrels through this brutally reflective scorcher with lithe precision and captivating power. Sober and earnest lyrics from Brother Hetfield bolsters the dynamic energy of Moth into Flame as this modern classic hits with an urgent energy. James expresses 38 years of gratitude to the world and the many members of the Metallica family in attendance, while making a point to call out the increasing amount of gray hair in the audience, as well as recognize the band's youngest fans in attendance. Returning to the task at hand, James asks one of his signature questions before the band gives the assembled Heshers a dose of heavy with 1991's Sad But True. Granite-thick riffs spill forth from James's hands, while Kirk expertly chimes in around the edges with that patented Ripper flair. Shaking the foundations of the faceless corporate arena, Sad But True skulks from the stage as the Cleveland faithful scream along to another Black Album exemplar. As has been customary, a noisy, feedback-drenched outro from James ends Sad But True. Soon enough, an instantly recognizable intro ushers in the stark and plaintive opening rumination of One. Harrowing depth and stratospheric grace rise from the devastating ashes on this 1988 masterpiece, while a relatively minimalist presentation from the stage show allows the song to stand tall without lasers, explosions, and excessive pyro on this masterfully executed rendition of One. The song's closing moments crush the audience with full-bore stridency and military precision. Diving straight back into the metal maelstrom, Master of Puppets roars from the stage next. Vigorous riffs propel the song forward in an energetic rush on this timeless number. The song's expansive middle passage stirs some vocal excitement among the crowd before the song's penultimate minutes hit with devastating force and impassioned conviction. The night's metal ringmaster, the inimitable James Hetfield, conducts the crowd to chant along as the band power into the last moments of Master of Puppets. This essential lesson in heavy metal excellence draws the primary portion of the set to a close with timeless potency. A brief respite follows to allow band and fan to catch their breath after an incendiary Master of Puppets come to an invigorating end. Soon enough, however, a familiar intro tape plays from the speakers to herald the unceasing onslaught of Battery. A quick-paced fusillade of 4- and 6-string crunch combines with Lars's unrelenting drum abuse as Battery charges through the arena with malicious exhilaration on this overwhelming thrash classic. Exhorting every last bit of energy from the crowd, James whips the audience into a frothing fury on this hard-charging number as Lars, Kirk, and Rob grind through the song with baleful glee. Ending the show with the reflective and celebratory pairing of Nothing Else Matters and Enter Sandman, Metallica perfectly cap off a rousing night of nostalgic hits and vibrant modern classics. In joining the audience with the campfire moment of Nothing Else Matters, the band creates a singular instance of togetherness amongst everyone in attendance. Rob's bass weaves exquisitely into the interstices throughout, and Kirk's guitar screams in earnest as the song nears its end, to highlight an engaging Nothing Else Matters. With the last note of Nothing Else Matters still hanging in the air, Enter Sandman saunters forth. A lively and propulsive run-through of this battle-tested smash hit follows. Sandman's well-known riffs pull with a near guttural urgency, and the crowd loudly joins in with a final surge of energy as they scream in unison with the song's iconic lyrics. An ever-so-brief snippet of the frayed ends of sanity concludes Enter Sandman, and woefully the show. Saying their goodbyes and doling out a profuse amount of guitar picks, the boys in the band press the flesh for a while before taking their leave. Leaving the stage with profuse appreciation and unceasing grace, the band and their dedicated fans depart into the cold Cleveland night, energized from the encounter and buzzing with excitement. Packing a multi-generational punch, 38 years of Metallica history is proudly on display on this frigid February 1st. Filled to capacity, Cleveland's nameless corporate arena brings together Metallica fans of all ages for a night of heavy metal revelry, with earth-shaking bass tremors from Mr. Trujillo reaching from the floor to the rafters, and Lars' singular rhythmic presence keeping the pace at a raging roar. Metallica tear into a set focused on both the band's latest slab of heavy musical destruction, Hardwired to Self-Destruct, and a crowd-approved selection of stone-cold classics. Razor-sharp lyrical insight from James and pinpoint 6-string precision from the Ripper Kirk Hammett double down on the band's power and sonic aggression. Whether stoking the fires with the 1-2 punch of Hardwired and Atlas Rise to open the show, or rallying the crowd together for a final celebration with the reflective Nothing Else Matters and a near jubilant Enter Sandman bringing the performance to a close. As a myriad of colored lights dance across the pale stage, a kaleidoscope of exploding color flits through the arena as Metallica powers through a wide-ranging swath of their monumental catalog. Seek and Destroy, Creeping Death, and Hit the Lights ensure that the band's formative years are ably represented, while Anesthesia and For Whom the Bell Tolls summon the life force of the departed but never forgotten Cliff Burton with their bass-driven brilliance. Masterfully executed renditions of Master of Puppets and Battery further illuminate this essential period of the band's history, while the bare-bones savagery of One provides the sole contribution from 1988's emotionally suppressive And Justice for All. Wherever I May Roam, The Unforgiven, and Sad But True continue the hit parade of perennial essentials from the band's gargantuan Black Album, and Metallica's contentious mid-90s output gets some recognition with 1996's Fuel providing the only representation of this unjustly divisive period in the band's history. Distilling 35 years of heavy metal greatness into a monstrous album, 2016's Hardwired to Self-Destruct sets the soundtrack for the evening with an expansive Now That We're Dead, Halo on Fire's pastoral power, and an impassioned Moth into Flame joining the destructive duo of Hardwired and Atlas Rise to provide a 5-song complement to represent this modern magnum opus. Whether a drum circle taking center stage during an extended Now That We're Dead, local music being pushed to the fore with local Cleveland rockers the James Gang and the Michael Stanley Band getting a nod in Kirk and Rob's nightly jam session, or a visually threadbare version of One, providing a stark reminder of the horrors of war, Metallica never ceased to surprise and amaze, assembling an engaging set list in conjunction with a dynamic yet performance-focused stage production. Metallica's Worldwide tour has something for every fan of the band: monster hits, undeniable classics, contemporary crushers, and maybe a stray deep cut mixed into the band's heady brew of heavy metal greatness.